Hi, and welcome to Telly Talk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
So, today we bring to you, for our very special 50th episode of our podcast, a Why We Watch.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? New format.
New concept.
New concept, new format, new time.
But not replacing anything else. It's in addition to other stuff.
Yeah. I can't quite believe we've got to 50 episodes.
I know.
And within a year.
Just about.
Just about, scraped on by, but...
Quite a long hiatus in the summer there.
Yeah, but you know, we were figuring it out. It's all a bit new, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, just wanted to say to anyone, to you, specifically you listening right now, whether this is your first episode or your 50th episode, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
It means a huge amount to us, and it's really special to us, so thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll keep listening.
Yeah. We
So-
value you and your time.
We love doing this. We're doing it for us, aren't
Yeah.
we, Liv? But it's amazing when people listen
Yeah.
and whatnot. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you.
But why we watch? What's that, Liv?
Why We Watch, this episode is focused on Death in Paradise, and we really just want to get into the weeds of why we like it,
Yeah.
why we watch it, and why we review it now.
What drew it to us? What kept us there?
How long we've been there for.
What do we think about it?
Yeah.
What do we rate it out of a random rating number?
All
of
the
that.
fun things.
So, Liv, let's ask the question, why we watch Death in Paradise?
Well, to start with, it's a comedy.
And a murder mystery.
Yeah, it's like a great combination. A lot of murder mysteries can be very serious.
Would you say it's a kilomedy?
Kilomedy. I sure would say that, Ben.
A murderonmedy?
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. It's a good format anyway, isn't it?
It's death and lols.
A murder mystery is a good thing. And
Yeah.
when you add comedy, they do it really well.
It's
It's
got-
engaging.
It's got real character,
Yes.
hasn't it? And it's almost an institution now.
And it's quite tongue-in-cheek. You know, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and you kind of feel like you get involved in that. And, of course, it airs in January, and you really, or I certainly do, I kind of really need that boost.
Yeah, because you know there's going to be a mystery and you can do all of that thing where you're going, oh, I think it's this. Oh, I don't know. Or I don't like that person or whatever. But you know it's not going to get too gritty.
Yeah, they keep it light.
Mostly. They dabble here or there
Yeah.
with the more serious stuff when they want to be all fancy.
And sometimes that hits more because most of the time it's light and breezy.
Don't potentially kill off a character I actually like.
Yeah.
No.
But this, Death in Paradise, has been going for years. Years and years.
We're on what? Is it like season 15 now? Something like that?
I thought it was 12.
No.
Am I behind?
I don't know. What in
Thinking about something else. I don't know. All I know is
Loads.
every January it airs and I watch it.
Yeah. And, well, sometimes it's 1 year it was February.
Oh, February. That was a bad year. That was hard. Wait until February.
This year is as near as damn it February. It's going to start on the 30th of January.
Yeah, true.
Outrageous.
Yeah. It's because we had this Christmas special. I think that's helped.
What do you mean?
Well, the Christmas special obviously aired at Christmas. So I feel like it's sort of started and we're now just having a little break.
I was going to say, because we do get a Christmas special most years.
Yeah, now. Didn't used to, back in the day.
Back in there.
I know.
So how did you get into this show, Liv?
Well, again, back in the day,
An untold number of years ago.
when it first started, I didn't watch it, but it was when you just watched what was on the telly.
Oh my God, back in the old days.
Yeah. So I started watching when it was Humphrey, was the
Okay.
detective. And it was just on. You know, when you're watching the telly and like, oh, that's the best thing.
You stumbled upon it.
Yeah. And so I watched the odd episode. They weren't in the correct order. You know, it was just a fun thing to watch.
What's this? Kind of like daytime Murder She Wrote
Yeah.
or whatever. Just like
Frasier.
Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, you know, just put it on, rerun. Didn't think too much of it. Oh, that was entertaining. And then, after having the first child, had a bit of maternity leave, and scrolling through the iPlayer, and I saw it, and I thought, oh, I know that's a good show. I'll start from the beginning and I'll watch it. And so I did. I went back to season 1 and I've watched them all.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I got into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you happen to walk past when I'm watching these
So
things.
many of the shows we watch together you are X number of seasons in,
Yeah.
and I've walked past a few times, and at a certain point I go, maybe that's not that terrible.
That doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of it I watch, some of it I go, that is unmitigated
yes,
shit.
that's the other half of that story.
But this was one of the ones where I was like, I don't know, I'd be kind of up for it. And you're really bad at retaining information from
I
a
know.
show.
I can watch these things over and over
So-
again, and I do not remember who did it.
So many shows will be like, I'll be like, are you sure you don't mind starting again?
Elementary. I
Yeah.
love that show.
You still don't remember. We've watched that how many times
I
now,
know.
and you will still be like, I don't know
I have
what
no idea.
happens. Yeah. We're gonna have to do Elementary at some point.
Yeah, we will.
That's up there, but we're not talking about Elementary. Elementary, my dear Humphrey.
Same genre, though.
Yeah, so I sort of.
But yeah, then we started watching it together, but with my dad as well.
Yes, our now fabled Saturday night telly,
Yeah,
and that's what we've been doing for oh my goodness, so many years.
I
now.
know. Well, I was just thinking, I was watching it on maternity leave with the baba, and
Yeah.
she's now 8.
Oh God.
That's a long time ago.
I suppose your dad is sort of like the unofficial third host of the podcast indirectly.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
here in spirit.
Yes, and we occasionally quote him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's now become this on-running thing that we've been doing for what, 7, 8, maybe 9 years now,
Yeah. Watching.
of
yeah.
various things. But yeah, it's just that you know you're in safe hands with Death in Paradise because there'll be a mystery that's really interesting and of various levels of plausibility. And there'll be the sort of fond, warm blanket of the interaction between the characters
Yeah.
and all of that.
And that's aside from the weather that we get to watch.
yeah.
Not experience in the UK, but we can watch it happen on Samari.
But there's a reassuring English main character who we can be like, well, this is good. We
Relatable.
identify. Yeah.
You miss your bacon. We have the bacon.
They always miss their bacon.
Yeah.
It's the most British of things, bacon.
Yeah. Do you remember the last detective? He missed chicken nuggets, wasn't it? Chicken and chips.
Neville.
Neville, that was him. I don't remember people's names. This is not helpful.
No, well, we probably ought to start talking about like the actors / characters. And
Yeah.
you have to start with Death in Paradise. It's really hung on the inspector, and actually Death in Paradise is really interesting because unlike a lot of murder mystery detective shows which are hinged around the detective has changed over the course of the seasons, and so you kind of have eras of the show.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Doctor Who, I suppose, where you have different doctors,
Yeah.
but this time they're different characters.
And what's nice, actually, is that they have dealt with the transitions almost uniquely. Every time it's changed, it's been something different.
yeah,
Because we lost the first detective to murder.
spoiler alert.
He was killed off.
Yeah, and that was shocking.
So then we got introduced to the second one because he was brought in to solve that murder.
Yeah, so the first detective was Richard Poole, played by Ben Miller.
Yes.
And then his murder was investigated by Humphrey,
Yeah.
played by Chris Marshall.
Yes. And I loved Chris Marshall in My Family.
So, who was your first detective?
Humphrey.
Because I think that's a thing that sort of separates people, is who your first detective
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Your first DI. Mine was also Humphrey. I just came to it much later than you.
Yeah. Yeah. A few years had passed in between.
And they tend to have quite different personalities. Like, so you had Richard Poole, who was very, I'm going to say, almost atomically grumpy.
Yeah.
Like very grumpy, very angry.
He didn't
and
really
aggressive.
want to be in the Caribbean.
No.
Actually, similar vibes to Neville, who we had more recently, in that he didn't want to be in the Caribbean.
I would say, in many ways, first season Mervyn had a much more direct link because he
True.
did not want to be there, whereas Neville was more just like allergic to everything and a bit of a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Whereas Humphrey was klutzy and daft.
And he loved it. He loved
Yes.
everything about Saint-Marie.
Too much.
Yeah.
And then we had Jack Ardlow Hanlon, who was sort of like this much more old.
Was that his
older-
character name?
Yeah.
Jack?
Yeah, Jack Mooney.
Jack Mooney. I remembered the Mooney bit.
Yeah, Jack Mooney.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, and he was very different because he was an older sort of character and so a bit
Yeah.
more established.
And actually, he was introduced alongside Humphrey. So when we first met him, he wasn't the new detective. He was the UK support for one of the crimes.
Yeah, they sort of liaised, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that he was going to be the new
Yeah.
DI. Because you get a lot of cameos
Yeah.
on the show, like guest stars all the time. In fact, some of the people who became DIs played different characters. So like in season 2, I think it was Ralph Little who played Neville. Was just a random character.
Yeah.
And you just have to pretend like he's not.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
You
it
look
would be-
familiar. You were one of our suspects a few years back.
But it's British telly often does this.
Yeah.
Like you see Midsummer Murders, and you just have the cycle of British actors, and there's a lot of crossover. And
Yes.
Death in Paradise is kind of the same.
Yeah, and it's nice because you go, oh, it's them.
Yes.
Sort of that link.
So Humphrey was your favourite DI, do you think?
Do you know, this is interesting because he was,
Oh.
but now I feel like with Beyond Paradise, they've carried Humphrey's character on into Cornwall and
Devon.
And I feel like, filmed in Cornwall, I feel like it might have been a bit much now.
Oh, you've been overexposed
I
to
don't.
him.
I think so. I think it's maybe been pushed a bit far, or it's been
Okay.
pushing too far.
So if it's not Humphrey, who is it?
That is a wonderful question. I did like the first one.
Ben Miller. So that would be Richard Poole.
Yeah, I did like him. I know he's your least favourite.
Well, he might be slightly better than Mervyn. I don't like the angry at the world, grouchy
Yes,
grumps.
so that might develop as we see more of him.
Yes, because he is lightening up a bit.
Because that is also the thing. When we first meet them, there's often some resistance. So they don't want to live that far away from home, blah, 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 blah. And then once you get over that and the character settles in, they can change and we warm up to them.
Yeah, like I said, it's just everyone has, because they're all so different. I think everyone's got a type of character that works for them more. And I just don't. I don't like that character as much. Don't get me wrong. I like those seasons. I don't dislike. It's just not as fun for me. The one that I had the biggest journey with
Was
was
it
Neville.
Neville? I was
Yeah,
gonna
because
say the same.
they really overplayed.
I really
his-
didn't like him for like 3 seasons.
You're-
And then in the end, he's been the longest serving DI.
That's so weird to think,
I
isn't it? Because
can't
it feels like he was in for
process
5
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
But Neville, I feel like they almost stereotyped him. They made him almost a parody of like, oh, I'm allergic to everything and terrified of everything, you know,
Yeah.
and
It
just
got a bit
really
much.
pathetic.
Yeah.
And they did develop him in the end. They needed time
They
to do
needed
that.
to.
And I liked his story arc a lot. Your dad still really dislikes it.
I
He's
know.
like his least favourite and he's very vocal about it. But then he's similar to you. He likes the Richard Pooles and the Mervyns.
He also liked Mooney, though. And he was good. I was a bit worried about him, but he was good.
He was sort of like almost like a sort of everything, yeah. But he had a bit of nuance
was
to him because he could,
happy-go-lucky.
but also could get quite serious. He was an older hand.
Do you know what I liked about him? And it was more about his circumstances, I suppose, is that he had his daughter with him. Because most often, the DI is a lone wolf.
Yeah.
And they don't have any connections, and that's why it works. That's why they leave the UK, etc.
It also meant that you didn't have any sort of like love interest story being put in there because like there seems to be this trope of the DI seems to have a love interest or some sort of relationship in will they won't they with like their sergeant or one of the staff or something.
Well, that's the reason 2 of them have left. So one of them was killed.
okay.
Humphrey followed a love.
Yep.
D.I. Mooney did he leave because of his daughter? She needed to come back or
something like
for
that.
her
Yeah, he's just like,
uni or
it's
something.
time for me to leave.
Yeah, and then we had Neville. He left for love because he
Yes.
went with Florence.
Yeah, he did.
And now we've got this guy,
Mervyn.
He hadn't left yet, so...
Well, no, he's barely been here 5 minutes, so I still think that they're slow burning a thing with Naomi.
Do you?
With him. Yeah.
Again, like another thing
Yeah,
with a colleague.
but that's all part of the the inappropriate workplace sort of thing. But it's all part of the I almost said Oak Island. It's all part of the Death in Paradise thing, right? There's got to be a bit of romance.
Yeah,
there's
but I don't need it to ruin another detective.
Well, maybe
Like if he can fall in love with someone else. Catherine hasn't had a love interest.
I feel okay. She's had a love interest with the island. But yeah.
I was going to say about Mervyn, actually. I really like his London accent.
Okay.
I don't know why. And I've never, ever lived in London.
Cool, blimey, Governor.
But it feels like home. I know. It's weird.
But
when he talks, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's the correct accent.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know that either. Okay.
I may have only even been to London a handful of times.
Okay. Well, that's something.
I know.
Hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, maybe it's just being surrounded.
I like him because he talks like that.
I think that's the thing. A lot of British characters on shows are over-egged in poshness.
Are you referring to Humphrey? Because he's a little bit posh.
He was, and Neville was as well. But Mervyn, he's London.
You see, I really liked Ardlo Hanlon, Jack.
Well, he's
movies.
Irish.
Yeah, I liked the Irishy bit. That was just like, ooh, this is fun, cheeky.
That felt warm, didn't it?
Yeah. And he, like I said, he was reassuring. He was kind of like a steady
He was
hand,
like a father figure, wasn't he, for everyone?
Oh, God.
The audience.
What are you trying to say?
The other characters.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about characters without talking about our two long-standing, there from day one characters.
Yeah. So Catherine, the mayor / bar
She was the
restaurant
bar hotel owner for the longest time, and then she became mayor.
Is it a hotel?
Yeah, because she has rooms, doesn't she? It's not a huge hotel, maybe more like an inn or a B&B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
then
never
we've got,
realised.
Yeah, well, again, it's in the early season, so you've probably forgotten. I've seen them a few more times than you.
Oh, okay.
I just have.
Okay.
It's not a flex. Like
It's a weird
I
flex.
spend more time watching telly than you.
Useful for the podcast, to be fair.
Well, apart from that, I forget everyone's name. And then the other one is Commissioner Selwyn Patterson.
Oh, Selwyn, who has a duck named after
I
him
know.
in the
Now I
spin-off.
do like that about Beyond Paradise.
So, yeah, played by Catherine... Oh, no, it's Catherine Bourdain, and I can't for the life of me remember her actress's name. But you've got Dom Warrington playing Commissioner Selwyn Patterson.
And they've really developed his character over the years.
Because he started off as just an angry man that basically grumped at the detectives.
Yeah, and like we hardly ever saw him, and he was grumpy.
They really
he was
brought
like
him in.
checking, where are you with this case? Why haven't you done more?
And looking angry and disapproving.
Yeah, and of course he's always in his full uniform,
Yes.
so there wasn't much
Whereas
humanising.
they made him more human and also kind of a bit lighter. He was a lot
Yeah.
of the like comedic relief.
Yes, and that started to come around with Mooney, didn't
Yeah.
it? When Humphrey left, I think they left it a bit warm. Humphrey was like, well, I'm going to miss you, sort of hug kind of thing,
Yeah.
which he didn't like, but that was the beginning of the warming up.
If you could imagine Selwyn going for a beer with any of the DIs, it would be Mooney.
Yeah.
Like every day and twice on Sundays.
And that he enjoyed.
Yes, that he enjoyed yes, that he wasn't forced to out of obligation. But yeah, and we then have that almost like the tertiary level of characters, which are the rotating cast of sergeants and officers and whatnot, because we've had so many of them, and I think they are kind of almost like your fundamental heart and soul of the show.
Well, yeah. And what I like in particular is that we have Darlene at the moment, as a uniformed officer.
Right.
Now, she has been mentioned pretty much since day one. So, oh God, I can't remember his name. Dwayne.
She's an ex-girlfriend of Dwayne's, isn't
Yeah,
she?
so he would talk about Darlene a lot. And he would get information from Darlene, and like her name was there a lot. And then eventually we met her, and then in more recent years, she's worked there, and she started off as like admin.
As a volunteer and as admin
and now she's a full-on trained up
officer.
Sergeant.
She's not a sergeant, she's an officer.
She doing her sergeant's exam?
I don't know.
She sat in the sergeant's desk.
Yeah, but Naomi's the sergeant.
No.
Yeah.
She is, but she's a different level. She's a DS.
No.
She's a detective sergeant.
Yeah.
And then they have the normal
She's just
Sergeant
Officer
Constable.
Darlene.
Is
You're
she?
you're just making this up.
I
Do you know what I think is the real testament to how good these characters are? Every time, and I mean every time, a character leaves, I always go, oh man, it's such a shame they've left. It won't be the same without them.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes, the new one is, I'm like, I don't even remember what the like, because like even
JP.
like JP and then Marlon. I was convinced that
the dynamic between JP and Marlon.
And they managed to make it funny, but also quite emotional.
Yeah.
And memorable. And now you've got Seb, who is just a whole different flavour, but just equally fun, but also impactful on the story and poignant.
Because he joined at the beginning of last season, and he was first in it as a pineapple, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He had a job trying to advertise one of the local bars, and he was dressed up as a pineapple. And I can't remember how he got to the police department from
I think
there.
he applied. He just wanted a job.
Because he interacted with one of the officers, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I might apply for that.
Yeah.
And here we are, and he is brilliant. I love his character.
Yes, but in the same way that I loved Marlon and I loved, you know, and Dwayne, like they've always got a character that's got a little bit of a mischievous or fun streak to them.
Yeah.
And with Dwayne, it was always like, are you a criminal or are you a police officer?
Where's
And the fine
line?
line. And Marlon was even more that way. He was like young Dwayne.
He went in as a young offender,
He
didn't
did. And then Seb isn't quite the same. He's a bit more naively innocent. He's
Do you
not.
know what? He's like a young Humphrey.
I guess so.
Like
in some
haphazardly
ways.
brilliant.
Yes, but not quite so slapstick. Well, maybe. So yeah, it's a more innocent form of that character type.
Yeah.
And the DS there's often been like a Naomi or the Florence or whatever.
More serious, that role, because they have to hold up the detective being a bit wayward.
Yes,
and,
they're the foil, aren't they?
Yeah.
They
make it work.
They're often the one who the detective is explaining the stuff to as an audience proxy.
So I suppose we have two fun roles. One is the detective and one is one of the constables. Yeah. And then we have two serious roles, which is the sergeant and the other constable.
I think it's telling that neither of us have mentioned Ruby.
Who's Ruby?
Do you remember the officer that had the really long big hair that was there at the same time as Marlon?
She was
Patterson's
niece.
Yeah, I never really engaged that much with. She was all right.
Do you know what? I just warmed up to her and she left.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And I was like, oh,
yeah.
I only just started liking your character.
You get the odd one that just doesn't stick as well, and she was really one of them. But it's nice the way it all goes through and they all interplay and stuff like it. It's a real ensemble cast.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real strength for the show.
Yeah, and what's nice is Camille was the first sergeant, and she is Catherine's daughter.
Yeah.
Consequently, we still hear about her from Catherine. We've still seen her. She did Christmas special last year, I think, in 2024.
Yeah, she did a cameo, didn't she?
Yeah. So it's realistic in that sense.
Well, they even had a pseudo cameo from Richard Poole, Ben Miller, as a sort of like
a
hallucination so that was quite interesting. And yeah, it's just the characters are great. And sort of on that note, like the island of San Marie is almost a character in and of itself, right?
You're trying to link it across to settings.
It's a segue. Go with it. But seriously, it is like they make a big thing of like talking about San Marie is this type of place.
Yeah.
You don't understand unless you've experienced San
They're
Marie.
patriotic about it, aren't they?
And it's really well sort of
Do you know,
depicted.
I think it's helped by the shack, which is where the detectives live.
Yeah.
It's literally a shack on the beach.
How do we not mention Harry the Lizard in characters?
Do you know, he's got worse over the years. He's all CGI now. I don't know
Yeah.
what he was to begin with. But
He was always CGI.
He felt more realistic.
Do you think they had an actual lizard called Harry that they train?
Well, I did think that they had a lizard.
Right.
And then sometimes it was like a cardboard cutout. You know, like Salem on Sabrina. There's a cardboard cutout some of the time.
That's a deep cut.
I know, right?
Was he?
Yeah. And I thought it was just like that because he was great. And now he just looks like he's added in.
They don't
afterwards.
have him in that much. I feel like they had him in more in previous seasons.
Yeah.
But probably because he's really expensive to create.
They've
but
made him expensive.
But
Make
he
him
is a
cheap. Make him out of cardboard.
imagine
get to see him
all of
more.
this is just a little crappy cardboard killer. Hello, and you can see the strings or
You know,
someone's hand.
The kids have got that gecko, like that toy.
Oh, God.
Just get one of those.
Just make him a sock puppet.
Also, Harry is like a wild lizard.
A gecko, yeah.
Is he a gecko?
I think so.
Oh, that toy makes even more sense. So, like, why is he responding to the detectives? I liked it more when he was just sat there not doing anything.
Okay. So glad I brought it up. But yes, the shack is wonderful, and that's a consistent theme throughout all of that's where the detective inspector lives. And that feels quite familiar, and it bridges all of the detectives.
Yeah.
They've even had some bodies found there and stuff, like it's quite nice and all of that. And it creates these scenic moments on the beach and all of that. So that's nice.
But there is also a much needed balance sometimes when you go into some of the more deprived areas
Yeah.
or like the real day-to-day street markets as opposed to the ones on for the tourists. So we get to see, I think, a fair view of San Marie apart from all the mansions.
And of course, they love having the big sort of like flyby panoramic shots of the sumptuous sea and the coast, and you go,
The colours.
"Oh, this is what I need to see in January in the UK."
Yeah.
And and the music and all of that, just like it really creates this vibe, doesn't it? And of course, it gives them, like you said, the opportunity to set a lot of the murders on these like cliffside villas where you can only access them from one door.
Yeah.
Very convenient. It does have this thing of going like somehow it maintains its jolly atmosphere despite having a surprisingly high murder rate.
Yeah. Yeah. No one talks about that.
San Marie, twinned with Midsummer.
Also, I like how sometimes they'll drop in, well, you know, we're not too busy. We've just got this case and this case.
Yeah.
And they're not just sat around waiting for murders. They are solving thefts and...
I've never got a handle on like the timeline for this, like how long between these cases is there meant to be? Like, so
Yeah.
they had, like episode 1 of a season, they have a thing. Like, how long is it until episode 2? Like, is it 6 months down the line, or is it like, oh, next week?
Yeah, I feel like it's somewhere in between weeks and months.
I think it's one of those things, like again with Midsummer Murders and things like that. You kind of have to just not really think about that.
Well, look, there's, generally speaking, 8 episodes in a season. And I think each season is meant to represent 1 year. Because they'll often, at the end of a season, go, do you know, I've been here a year? That's flown by.
Okay.
Not all the time, but I think that's a rough guide.
I don't know if that's a high murder rate or not.
For a tiny island like San Marie,
yeah,
I think it is quite high.
Yeah. Touche. And they're all mysterious murders. You don't get any run-of-the-mill murders where someone's just, you know...
Someone's just sat there crying because they're so sorry.
Someone's punched someone outside of a nightclub.
They make these detectives work for it.
They do. It's a proving ground,
Do you know what,
isn't it?
actually?
Oh, no.
My favourite thing, I think, of all time
no.
from this show.
Uh-oh.
And it was the second episode with Humphrey in it.
Okay.
Which I think was the first episode of season 2.
Wouldn't it have been the second episode of season 2?
No, I don't...
'Cause
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure Ben Miller, Richard Poole was murdered episode 1 of season 2.
Okay, so it would have been the second episode of
I'm glad we
season
got
2.
that sorted out.
Good maths. because this show, Death in Paradise, does that typical thing where they announce and they tell the story of who done it in front of all the suspects.
Yeah.
So Humphrey was introduced to it at the death of Richard Poole.
Yes.
And then in the second episode, he's like, hey, can you gather everyone together? I really liked that.
Yes.
And it like brings it,
Yeah,
because
and
it's not real. That bit's not realistic. That's not what happens.
I can't remember. Did Richard Poole used to do that in the first season?
Yeah.
And
he did.
It's almost like they acknowledge then, like, this isn't realistic, but we've now got an excuse.
But we're doing it.
He's inherited it.
Yeah, and Humphrey was like, I
Yeah.
like that, because it kind of fitted with his quirky personality.
If you had to have one word to describe him, it was enthusiastic.
Yeah. And then, of course, Mooney took it on because
Yeah.
why not? And then the others have been like, why have you gathered everyone together? Why
Yeah.
are you doing this? Oh, okay, that's what we do.
Mervyn really didn't like it. He was like, this is unprofessional,
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But he's now doing it, because that's what you do on Samari. You do it the weird way.
It's Agatha Christie's way, isn't it?
Yeah.
She was the first one to introduce this format, but it's amazing. And I
Mm.
love their calling it out.
Are you saying it's a legacy of Christieite murder mystery storytelling?
I am, because I am well informed.
Yes, we can take off our Ponzi smoking jackets now and get back to it. It's a really fun show to watch, and they do the funnies and the killing.
Yeah.
Haha. And so I guess as part of that, the music of the show is very distinctive, and that sort of helps build that, right?
Yeah, especially at the beginning of every episode when you helpfully sing along. Emma. And now my dad joins in.
Yep.
So I have two of them doing it.
Well, the thing is, I did it one time and it really annoyed you, and
Yeah.
so now I have to do it every time. And I've adapted it to other shows as well, like Midsummer Murders and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh my god, it doesn't even work for those.
Here
Here we go. There are other God,
Hope no one's listening to this to go to sleep.
you're awake again now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, you even do it for shows where it really doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Like Shetland.
Yeah.
There is no real
Oh, no.
tune. Oh my gosh, Beyond Paradise.
Oh, that's really hard.
It's like one of those sea shanty
But
kind of
the
tunes,
the
and
sea-
you're like making it up. It's
Sorry.
not even the same.
Sorry, how does it go?
No, it doesn't.
No.
I'm
The
not joining
trick
in.
is, though, the less like the song it is, the more it annoys you, and so the more fun it is. I just resort to going, Shetland! And then you're just sat there going, "Urgh."
Shut up. I can't even hear it.
Oh, one day we'll have to talk about Shetland, because I've never known a show with a main character whose actor can't actually do anything other than one facial expression. It's amazing. Is he happy, sad, confused? No one's sure.
No, he
but
often
yeah.
has to tell us.
Yes, or other people have to,
Yeah.
or you guess. And they've got really strong accents, so sometimes you can't tell anyway.
The most recent episode we watched.
We're on
I was
a
like-
tangent.
I know, he was like, I looked at him and I thought, he looks surprised. And you know what? He was surprised. I thought, I got one.
Yeah.
I got one.
Oh my god, we've watched enough that we're starting to work out the fight. Maybe that's the problem. His like performance is so nuanced and subtle. You have to really learn the characters, and then it all opens out before you. Or you were just a lucky one-off guess, you know.
Well, to be fair, it did look like he put more effort into that particular facial expression.
Maybe he hadn't read his script and he genuinely
He
was
was.
surprised.
What?
But that's how
What's
you do
happening?
it. We're just not going to tell him, and then we'll see. But yes, the music of the show is really like, it helps elevate the atmosphere and the character of Sam Marie, because
Yeah.
you've got all of the like the steel drums and the calypso type stuff and the Caribbean feel.
And they use it to change the tone. So if things do start to get more serious, the music helps shift us back into the comedy side of things.
That's true. Yeah, it is a real signifier, and that's how good show music works. Like
Yeah.
it's a you should feel this.
Yeah. Do you know, and I think my favourite episode was the one, I think it was Mooney, who was a detective, and it was based at a radio station. So we got a lot more music in that episode because
Yeah.
it fitted.
I remember that episode. That was fun.
Yeah, it
They
was
all
fun.
Are. I think one of my most memorable ones was the the treasure hunters one. I think it was a Humphrey one. There were like some treasure hunters like diving on boats looking for coins, and treasure coins were involved and stuff. I love just the whimsy of all of that sort of stuff is great.
Yeah.
It's out there's sort of the mix of mundanity, but also the less common.
The banal and the fantastical.
Yeah, oh yes, what a wonderful way of putting it. Gold
Thank
star
you.
for you. So as you can probably tell, the show has had quite an impact on us. Like, we're big fans, right? Like, let's make no bones about it. We love this show. Like, what has the show meant to you?
For me, it really is joy in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I can't really imagine watching it in the summer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you will have watched it in the
I
summer.
probably have, but I love it in the winter. I need it. It's almost like feeding my soul in the grey months.
In an almost literal sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's partly why I found the Christmas special this year a bit weird, because half of it was set in the UK,
I know.
in Swindon, in the cold.
Well, I could look out the window and see that.
Yeah, and then it snowed, and I was like, it's not even snowing here. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
If you're going to give me cold, don't overdo it. So yeah, it's this.
Although that
joy.
did make sense with the trains not working because there's snow on the tracks.
I know.
Do you remember that time? The what's it called? The train to Paris. The Eurostar. Do you remember the time the Eurostar had to shut because there was snow on the tracks?
I know that I've had trains cancelled for leaves on the track.
Come on, guys.
Like, the British transport is terrible. But yeah, it seemed like when you found it, when we had our first child and she was very young, and you were sort of like stuck to the sofa and stuff like that. I feel like this was a really important show for you. And then you sort of dragged the rest of us in with you.
Well, I mean, there was more than just this, and no doubt we'll cover those in time as well. But yeah, I mean, when you're feeding a baby and you can't move for hours and they fall asleep on you and you think, I ain't putting them down because I just got them to sleep.
Like, and the show for me was, I love a murder mystery, and it's the sort of show, like, we love shows, you and I, that we can talk about and discuss. Weirdly, we're doing a podcast. That's how we got to podcasting, because we were chatting about it so much.
We talk about it anyway.
But like, we love shows that we can talk about and discuss as we're watching them and then afterwards.
The amount of times that we pause things
we
to
have
talk
to,
or to share our theories.
can't-
I think what's going to happen is...
Yeah, or what about this? Oh, that's really that?
I can't see that.
Yeah, but we kind of have to pause it less when your dad's watching, which is sort of good, but also annoying. But yeah, like, and also the mixing with, like, there's a lot of actors that I remember from shows I watched when I was a kid, like Don Warrington from Rising Damp and Danny John Jules from Red Dwarf. And then you get like all of these actors sort of sub in that you go, oh yeah, I know that actor. And it just, there's nostalgia with that and joy.
I mean, we've talked about Humphrey actor. What's his name again?
Chris Marshall.
Yeah, because he was on My Family, and I loved My Family.
Wasn't Ben Miller on My Family as well? Wasn't he the dad?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Wow.
And Nick, who was his character on My Family, was my favourite character on there. And every episode that he was in, I was just laughing.
Not necessarily
much.
100% different
No,
either.
the character's very similar.
He's got a type.
Just a bit more grown up and a bit more serious.
Dialed up a bit as well. And that's the thing. Like, they never make any characters completely one-dimensional. They were worryingly close with Neville at the beginning, but he was still competent in the moments that he needed to be. And that's what's joyous about the show. There's always that fundamental thing of, like, they will discover the solution and they're always capable and competent and they give people wins.
Yeah, they're always quirky but qualified.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that you know what you're going to get ultimately, but they bring you along for the ride.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant. So, like, we rate stuff at the end of our
Every
shows,
time.
don't we? So, what would you give if you had to rate the whole of Death in Paradise thus far?
Yeah.
What would you rate it?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yeah.
No, perfection.
Yes.
Nothing could be better.
Well, no, because as we've said, it's got everything that you need at the time that you need it.
You know what? I think I agree. So I'm going to give mine 7 unrelated detective inspectors out of 7.
Unrelated detective inspectors.
Yes.
It's quite a mouthful.
Mine always are.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. Like, we've been watching it for so long. I look forward to it every year. Post Christmas, in the lead up to the new year, I'm always like, oh.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I think of all the shows that we watch regularly, like, we kind of have a rotation over the year that we watch on a Saturday with your dad. I think Death in Paradise is probably the top. Certainly of, like, the fictional shows.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a bit of everything.
It's Gold Star, isn't it?
It's just joyous and fun and intriguing. And how could you make it better?
You can't.
You could not have a grumpy DS, but, you know, ebbs and flows.
That's your opinion.
It is my opinion.
So.
And on that note, that's all, folks. Once again, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll have many more episodes past episode 50. I've had a really fun time today.
Yeah, join us for episode 51.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Toodles!